So Nietzsche said the pathway to greatness is Amor Fati, love your fate. And I think I read this for the first time when I was like either 8 or 13. Maybe 8. And it kind of stuck out to me. And then when I was 13, I read it like for real. And I feel like when you read those words, when you hear those words, Amor Fati, love your fate. Amor. Amor. Like you're speaking to your lover. Amor. Fati. Amor Fati. Love your fate. When you hear those words, your life really starts. I feel like your life doesn't really start until you begin to love your fate, until you realize that loving your fate is the crucible into which you and all other alchemical ingredients that create you must be poured in order to become the alchemist's gold. Amor Fati, that philosopher's stone, that when one possesses it, one's life truly begins. Amor Fati, to be speared by the tusk of a boar, and to smile while you fight. Amor Fati, to suffer on the cross with your arms wide open. It's all right. Amor Fati, love thy fate. How does one love their fate? You know, it seems like we wrestle with our fate like we wrestle with God. But we don't knife fight with God. Jacob didn't knife fight God. He wrestled God. Why did Jacob wrestle God and not fight him with a knife? Well, because wrestling is a form of love, as anyone who's ever been married knows. Like, marriage is not like a dance as much as it is like a wrestling match. Marcus Aurelius says life is not so much like the art of dancing as it is like the art of wrestling. And wrestling can be a dance between the most skilled practitioners, and it's even what I'm training for now. I'm training for jiu-jitsu, which is a form of wrestling. So jiu-jitsu is a form of wrestling that I am training for by walking barefoot right now. So I have a stick because I walk barefoot. And there's a lot of people who just watch my channel for my feet. It's really weird. Like, I'm actually a part of playlists. I can see what playlists people find my videos from, and there's a lot of like gay men evidently that are watching my videos to stare at my feet. I don't know. Amor Fati, love your fate. Like, maybe the American male homosexual will help make the culture not degenerate by falling in love with the ideal masculine. I mean, I won't like love them back the way they want, but that's also probably what they want, because like I don't think that they really want that. They want a strong father figure, you know. I think a lot of homosexuals, God bless them, want a strong father figure. So they go find that in men who will have sex with their bodies aggressively. I mean, as long as it's consenting adults, you know. I think that with the Epstein list out and everything, like we need all the people we can get. And if there's some homosexuals that want to promote my videos to stare at my feet, I guess that's how I bypass algorithmic censorship, you know. Like, this is Amor Fati. Like, how do I bypass algorithmic censorship? I guess that homosexuals are just so obsessed with the male image. Hello, sir. That they will. So it's funny. It's like the algorithmic censorship promotes homosexuals, but then homosexuals, starved of the masculine image, starved of masculine energy in society, then find me and promote me. And then I'm censored by the algorithm for being traditionally masculine and speaking the truth. How funny this works, you know? Amor Fati. I'm gonna get around to Amor Fati. Like, this is gonna be an Amor Fati video. Yeah, I've thought about how I make videos and like making videos that are really like long documentary style videos where like I really look at them enjoying their life. Beautiful. Really long documentary style videos where I get into like I could make really good, like Veritasium does like those documentary style videos. I could make really good videos that way. I think I'm going to continue. I like this though. Like I like just turn on a camera and just whatever's fighting at the surface of my conscious mind, I bring that baby to the surface and I wrestle with him in front of you. Right now. No script. I like that. It makes me laugh. That's a genuine laugh. It makes me happy. And that's, like people say, like the world needs more people who do stuff that makes it feel alive. I'm kind of using this to watch behind me. I'm like, no one's sneaking up on me, right? So I carry a stick because I wouldn't be a very effective runner with no shoes on. So I'm not going to run. I'm just going to kill you with a stick. And maybe get it on camera. That would be, imagine how psycho that would be. This is some Amor Fati right here. It's like, you're walking and someone's like, well, what if you get attacked? And I'm like, they better get it on camera, baby. Yeah, just like the latest Insomnia episode that I went through. I got that shit on camera, baby. I fucking documented the first case of someone going into remission for fatal insomnia on fucking camera. It sucked. I didn't want to do that. Like, I would much rather have not had fatal insomnia. Fatal insomnia. Yeah, fucking fatal unless you're Devin fucking Young. Then it's fucking fatal for the insomnia. It's called fatal insomnia because it fucked with me and now it's dead. Literally, I am killing the demon of fatal insomnia by spreading this information, which is suppressed by the YouTube algorithm, but is being promoted by homosexuals who like to stare at my feet. What a world. Like, what a goddamn world. They're just staring off. They probably don't want me to involve them in this conversation. I'll just speak loudly to involve everyone around me in the conversation just in case they want to join in. Like that immigrant family yesterday from New Hampshire. Oh, no, they're from New England. They're from Connecticut. And I told them I was from New Hampshire. They're like, we're from New England too. And I'm like, that's why you're loud. I love it. I love it. I love us loud New Englanders. Starting revolutions in the hills. Shooting those goddamn Jesuits. I'll let you figure out what I mean by that. So anyway, I have so much fun doing this. So anyway, you know, I'm not on drugs. Life is better off of drugs. Like, my mind is like much crazier off of drugs. All I did was take Adderall that I was prescribed and smoke weed and nicotine at some point. I guess I had a lot of caffeine today, but whatever, you know, pick your drugs. Drugs are, it's a very useless term, drug, because it doesn't really describe anything. It's like a substance that affects your mind. It's like, you mean everything? Like the sun is a substance that's affecting my mind. Steak is a substance that affects my mind. Like, what do you mean? Like, I could isolate compounds from steak and then sell them as drugs. Like, I don't know. It just seems like such a useless term to me. If you've ever gone on a vegan diet and then you eat a steak, you feel like you're on drugs after. You're like, oh my God. But it's like, what does that mean? Feel like you're on drugs? Most drugs kind of feel bad. Like, I like green tea. Green tea is like my favorite drug. But again, it's like actually probably the sun is like my favorite drug. Like, I don't know. Like, to use something like a drug, what does that mean? The druggist's art. I feel like drugging people is an art, you know? Like, someone came to me and they were like, give me a bunch of drugs to make me feel good. I feel like I do a really good job. But that's because I'm not really into drugs. I'm just into feeling good. So, I'd be really good at it. Like, I think I'd be really, really, really good at it. But with U.S. laws the way they are, I couldn't really just start a business where it's like, come to me and I'll give you whatever drugs I think will make you feel good. They would like arrest me for microdosing people on LSD and having them do sauna sessions with me and stuff. Just the way it is. Like, I can't, you know, Amor Fati, let's get back to that. So it's like, it's just the way it is. It is my fate. So how do I love my fate? Why should you love your fate? Why does life not begin until you love your fate? Well, the simple reason for it in a nutshell is that if you're opposed, okay, this is the technical reason why you must love your fate. So if you study things enough. Like, let's say whatever direction you go in seeking power. Let's say you look at politics. You're a really power hungry person. You're like, I'm going to seek power in the most obvious place that power is going to be found. Politics. Okay, I'm going to go into politics. Actually, let's just say you're like, I'm going to get a bunch of guns and start shooting people. Okay, well then police are going to show up. And now you're like, okay, shit, I'm outnumbered. This political power seems to be something very useful for me. So now you're like, okay, I got to get political power. And now you're like, okay, I have to manipulate people to vote for me. Now you're dealing with psychology. Let's say you go into physics and stuff. I mean, again, physics, atom bomb, politics, manipulating people's psychology. Okay. Let's say you're like, I just want to like have a family. Okay, family, people, psychology. Okay. So basically, any way you cut it, if you want power, power is always power over other people, or even power over oneself. Because let's say you're like, nah, screw it, I don't want power over other people, I just want power over myself. Okay, well, now because you only want power over yourself, you are going to have to understand yourself. So now you're dealing with psychology again. Okay, so no matter what it is you're dealing with psychology because you are a human psyche. Psyche meaning soul in Greek. You are a human psyche, so you have to deal with psychology. You have to study what you are. Okay, so now what am I? You're like, okay, what am I? You know, like I am cogito ergo sum, you know, like you start to say, I think, therefore I am. Nietzsche would say it thinks, because like, do you really know the I that is thinking? Like thoughts really like occur to you. It's not like you generate thoughts. Thoughts occur to you. So it thinks. But like I think, therefore I am. We have this thinking function that goes on. So because we have this thinking function that goes on, where do the thoughts come from? You know, like your thoughts will surprise you sometimes. This is sort of where psychology becomes interesting. Like your thoughts will surprise you. You will have thoughts that you'll do things that surprise you. Okay, so you'll say I'm going to go on a diet and then you won't go on a diet. You'll say I'm going to do 100 push-ups and then you won't do 100 push-ups. Why? Well, because there's something else in you that you are not immediately and always, or let's say consciously aware of. There's a subconscious. Okay, so that means there's other things going on beneath your conscious mind. I mean, in some sense, the body is the subconscious mind because 90% of your neurons exist below your neck. So, therefore, it is logical to assume that your body is your conscious mind or subconscious mind because it's literally beneath you. It's the part of your brain as defined as, say, like your nervous system made of neurons. Neurons are brain cells, so you have 90% of your neurons, 90% of your brain is below your neck. So that's like your subconscious. Okay, so let's just look at your body. Let's just take this like really straightforwardly. Look at your body. What is your body shaped like? Well, your body is either fit or it's fat. It's strong or it's weak. You got a lot of, like, it has its own shape and everything. I don't really know where I'm going. I'm just kind of walking down this path, so we'll just both, actually, I know where I'm taking this video, but, anyway, so, basically, your body has this nature. Now, what's the nature of your body dictated by? Like, let's say I wanted to tell what someone's body looked like without looking at their body. What would I look at? Well, I could look at someone's fridge. I could look at their house, their apartment, their community, their environment. Like their environment that they live in would tell me pretty much everything I need to know. Like I could basically pinpoint how fit someone is, how fat someone is, even probably what someone dresses like. Yeah, I could tell what they dress like from their apartment or their house because I just go through their house and I'd look at all their clothes. So I could tell what your body looks like. I could tell what your subconscious mind looks like by looking at your environment. How is that? Well, your environment is one layer down from your subconscious mind. Like your mind extends into your environment. This is why you can become more mentally powerful by reading books, by writing, by taking notes. Even by me making videos, I'm extending my subconscious mind into the ether of the internet. So I'm becoming more powerful, according to this model, by doing that. So our environment is like our subconscious mind. I mean, there's so many ways I could explain this, if it's not immediately obvious. Like cars, for instance. Like I'll have the conscious thought, I should go drive to this place. That conscious thought emerges out of the fact that there are cars and I am aware of them. Like there's a lot of information stored in our environment. Like I know things, like, you know what I mean? Like as I walk throughout my house, I experience the thoughts and emotions that I experienced when I was setting up my house. If I build an auditorium has instructions for the human psyche built into the layout of the auditorium. There's a podium down there, and there's a bunch of seats in an amphitheater style, and they're all facing the podium. They're all like stadium seating facing the podium. So I could, if you just put 1,000 people in that environment, most of them would be staring at one person. And that's just built into the environment. So it's sort of set up a certain way. It makes it easy for people to do something. So something in his Dark Materials, like Yorick Burnison said, an object has intentions. A hammer intends to strike. A knife intends to cut. I cannot see the keenest edge of this knife, so I do not know what all of its intentions are. He's talking about the subtle knife, the knife that cuts between worlds. The knife of the intellect, perhaps, among other things. And, the pavement's getting hot on my feet. My feet are starting to fry. Starting to fry, baby. My feet are frying, baby. So, objects have intentions. How does a hammer have intentions? Well, a hammer has intentions as an emergent property of it with its environment. And this is sort of like everything is an emergent property. Like human beings are an emergent property of all the conditions that create human beings. If you were to change these conditions, the emergent property of human would cease. You would have a lot of dead humans that would cease to look like humans as they decomposed. So, that guy's laughing. So basically, not all pills are real. One dose can kill, yeah. So basically, you have, So yeah, you build an object within the context of its environment. A hammer is a hammer for anything that can even remotely grip is going to be used as a striking implement or a prying implement, because I'm thinking like a carpentry hammer, but a hammer just for striking will be used for striking because that's what it's meant for. It's like it has this inherent logic built into this. It's like this is built to be a walking stick. This will tend to be used as a walking stick. I mean, here's a great example is I could take a hammer and I could put that hammer in an African tribe, like that's never seen a hammer before. I could just give them a hammer, could drop it out of an airplane, and they would end up using it like a hammer. I mean, if they didn't start worshiping it, they would use it like a hammer because it's like, it's built to be a hammer. Like it's just really good at striking. So if you pick it up, I mean, there's only a few ways to hold it comfortably, and then you're holding it, and now you kind of start moving it. You're like, oh, it's got this like swinging motion almost like built into it. And, wow, this end's really good at bludgeoning, and this end's really good at being held. And hammer is encoded within hammer. That's what makes it a good product. Like I think about product design that way. It's like I want my products to scream like this is what they're used for. Like I want it to be like not just idiot proof, but like genius proof. Like I don't want someone to be able to like like, I want there to be brilliance encoded. I want people to be smarter just for interacting with my product. Like, I want a whole bunch of stuff to happen just because you're holding this thing, because you have a hand and this thing has an inherent nature that I put into it through understanding and experimentation. And this is just how it goes, you know? You get this emergent property interaction out of the product. So, like, right now, I'm walking through the streets in Florida. I'm walking down through these city streets. And the reason I can do this, like, this behavior I'm exhibiting, is built into my environment. Like, there's a sidewalk here. Walking on a sidewalk. So that means that whoever built this city decided that people were going to walk on the sidewalk. And now I'm doing exactly that. And who knows, maybe even there's a symbiosis, there's a synergy between my desire to walk and the culture that produced me, the culture and people that produced me, and the culture and people that produced this sidewalk. Like, they go together. It's like, it's all part, it's emerging out of this. This is like the collective unconscious. Like, it is the fact that my desire to walk in order to optimize my mitochondria is also built into my environment within certain limitations, because people like me existed in these environments, and we share a bodily structure to a very large degree. We share this environment across time and space. And so we're constantly shaping it. And it's like, okay, so how far does my subconscious mind extend? And it's like, it really extends, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when I ask that, I can almost say, like, to what degree, like, where is the limit at which the environment no longer has an impact on me? The environment also being other people. And the butterfly effect states that we really don't know. You know, like, a butterfly flaps its wings in Asia and there are hurricanes in the Caribbean. It's like, we don't really know, you know, like, you could think of this entire planet as like a computer simulation calculating who knows what. And the smallest little bird could be carrying the zero that ends up doing who knows what. So ultimately, the entire universe as it exists is your subconscious mind, because you emerge from it and participate in it the same way that you participate in every other environment, including your own body, which is also an environment. Okay, so Amor Fati. Why does this mean you should love your fate? Well, it means that you're really indistinguishable from your fate. So I think it's simply an easier policy to love oneself and love one's neighbor as oneself if you love your fate, because it's really hard to, like, love your neighbor as yourself if you hate the fact that you're living next to him and you just wake up every day and you tell yourself that you love the guy until one night you're just driving the knife into his heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's telling yourself, I love my neighbor, I love my neighbor, I love my neighbor. And there's actually loving your neighbor. There's telling yourself, I love myself, I love myself. And then there's actually loving yourself. And there's, in the same way, there's telling yourself, like, I'm going to deal with this, I'm going to deal with this, I'm going to deal with this, I'm dealing with the situation, oh my God. And there's actually loving your fate. You know, like, you have to figure out a way to rationalize how what happened to you is good for you. Because it happened to you, and it's a part of you. And if you're going to be good for you, then you have to figure out how what happened to you and what's going on is good for you, because it's a part of you. And until you do that, you're fighting yourself. And if you're fighting yourself, you don't have access to power. And if you don't have access to power, well then, you're going to have a real hard time loving your fate, because life is going to be brutal for you. So, how does this connect to me? Well, I think this connects to, this is something I think people are going to be, like, realizing. soon. Like I saw a video today where some guy was talking about like it was like the spirits is like a Ahura Mazda, the Zoroastrian god, and Ahura Mazda he had these like spirits around him. They're like these angels. It starts like, it's like a Farsi something, I don't know. But these angels decided to go to Earth in order to fight the forces of evil, and so that good might prevail over evil. And he was saying how like the Gospel of Thomas says, if you do not know yourself, then you will live in poverty, and that poverty will be yourself. And he's like tying all of these things together. It's actually a really cool video. I would film it and put it here, but he had like music in the background, so then YouTube would copyright my video and it wouldn't be shown. But it's a really cool video. I reposted it on my Instagram, so if you want to go through my Instagram, you can see it. But you don't even need to do that, because this is emerging out of the collective unconscious. Like the collective unconscious itself is starting to realize. I think he had Amor Fati in that video too, and it got me thinking. I was like, Amor Fati, yeah, like, trust thyself, to that iron string doth every heart ring true. So he's going on about this, and I think that, like, for me, I mean, I have had a unique experience of this. Like, I'm not saying that, like, my experience of this is definitive or more intense than other people's, but it's certainly been more conscious than other people's, because I haven't been able to lose consciousness for a lot of my life. Like, I've just been awake because I have fatal insomnia, so, and I fucking killed that bitch. Stupid asshole fucking with me. Should have known better. I mean, really, like, gotta fuck with me? Like, seriously, like, you get suicide problems? But yeah, now the demon's dead, because I've published all the information necessary for everyone to kill it. So from the eternal perspective, that battle's been won. But basically, though, yeah, I mean, like, I've been dealing with a condition so bad that medical science, when they first acknowledged its existence, does so by calling it fatal. So basically, I have a problem so bad that all of the most educated people who could have theoretically helped me with that problem just immediately threw up their hands when they saw the problem. But they didn't even see the problem until years after I've been yapping about it. So it's like, it's just fucked. It's like a really fucked situation. And it's one that's been really unpleasant for me. And I've just been, like, basically dealing with, I could either kill myself, I could go on a bunch of drugs and die, or I can love my fate, and I can tell myself that I am going to be the first person to beat this illness, and then after I beat this illness, I will use everything that I've learned in the process to beat a whole bunch of other illnesses and help a bunch of people, because, I mean, if they can't help me, and I can help me, then that means I'll be able to help a lot of people. So that's just what I did, and it's taken, so I'm 27 now. I really started studying this in earnest when I was 14. So it's taken 13 years. It's taken 13 years for me to do this. I've been working on this one problem for 13 years. And that's not even counting all of the previous amount of time that I spent working on this problem, which is a lot, because I've been a very studious and interested person my whole life. When I was 14, I was like, I have got to, like, really buckle down on this problem. Then when I was 16, I was like, I have to actually devote pretty much every hour of my life to solving this problem, or it's going to kill me in a really brutal, horrible way. And not only that, but no one will believe me. They'll all think that I did it to myself, and they'll just be like, oh, what an idiot. He just died. Stupid moron. Said he couldn't sleep. I can sleep. It's really easy. He must be a real idiot. So that's just sort of like what I'm dealing with, or what I've been dealing with, until, like, now there's a lot more information coming out, but now it's just this nonstop shit, it's just a giant shit sandwich, but I get to go for walks and carry a stick and eat steak. So it's really fine. Maybe I'll go give a speech there. That'll be a nice place to give a speech. So basically, Amor Fati, you know? Like, I just kind of really embrace this. And I've gone all in on this. And I've been talking about this as publicly as I can for a very long time. And I feel like now the culture is starting to catch up. Which, again, because of my delusional self-belief, I'm telling myself it's because of me. I'm like, you did this, Devin. You made all of these people realize they need to love their fate. You did this. This is what you've done. You earned this, Devin. You stayed strong. You held the course. And now you're just dictating, literally dictating, I'm speaking the direction that the collective unconscious will take. And, yeah, it just started with like me loving the fact that I was 16 with erectile dysfunction, shitting blood and constant pain and nausea, unable to sleep while everyone gaslit me and told me that I was a stupid fucking moron who should just like turn his phone off, and I didn't even have a smartphone then.